If you've managed to find eggs under $5 or fresh vegetables at your local store, you're already luckier than millions of Americans. Because in 2025, grocery shopping has become a privilege, not just because of sky-high prices, but because many Americans have no place left to shop. Supermarkets are vanishing, shelves are empty, and families are asking questions they never imagined. Where can I even find food? From New York to Phoenix, Detroit to Miami, entire neighborhoods are turning into food deserts. And it's not just poor communities anymore. Even middle-class families are feeling the crunch. So, which cities are collapsing first? And how close is your hometown to becoming the next grocery ghost town? Let's dive into the top 10 U.S. cities facing a grocery crisis, where rising prices and vanishing stores are leaving millions with fewer choices and empty plates. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more engaging content. Number 10. Chicago, Illinois. In the south side of Chicago, something unimaginable is happening. People are walking miles, miles, just to find milk, rice, or a loaf of bread. Walmart, Whole Foods, and Aldi have all closed stores here in the past 2 years. For corporations, it's a cost-cutting move. But for families, it's a direct hit, especially the elderly and low-income residents who depend on public transport, or their feet, to access basic necessities. A recent study revealed that over 63% of Southside residents live in a food desert, meaning they have no access to fresh groceries within walking distance. That's not a statistic. That's a crisis. One local woman, aged 60, said she now takes 2 buses, spending nearly 90 minutes just to buy milk and bread. Her story isn't unique. It's the new normal in Chicago's forgotten neighborhoods. Big grocery chains blame high crime, low profits, and rising costs. But the people haven't gone anywhere. They still live there, still work there, still need to eat. Only now they're left behind, forced to choose between nutrition and transportation, survival and dignity. But if you think Chicago has it bad, wait until you see what's happening in Phoenix, Arizona, where rapid growth hasn't brought better access to food, only higher prices and fewer options. Number 9. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix was supposed to be a fresh start, a booming desert city where young families, remote workers, and retirees could thrive. But as the skyline grows taller, the grocery shelves grow emptier, and the crisis is impossible to ignore. Over the past 5 years, dozens of neighborhood grocery stores have quietly shut their doors. What replaced them? Discount outlets selling expired goods, processed snacks, and off-brand imports with questionable origins. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, egg prices in Phoenix have surged by 41%, and milk up 36%. That's not just inflation, that's devastation for families living on fixed incomes or disability benefits. One veteran, retired and living alone, confessed his entire day's food consists of cereal in the morning and canned soup at night. Not by choice, but because that's all he can afford. And access. Phoenix isn't a struggling city. There are shiny condos, manicured golf courses, and trendy rooftop bars. But that's the paradox. A city bursting with wealth but starving its residents. Without a car, you're stranded. Without money, you're malnourished. Grocery delivery apps? Not an option for most. Urban development outpaced food infrastructure. Local stores disappeared. Fresh food became a luxury, not a right. And as temperatures soar past 110 degrees Celsius, even getting to the store becomes a health risk. The sun is blazing, but the food system collapsed. And while Phoenix might burn under the desert sun, what's happening in New York is even worse. Because there, it's not just about access, it's about choosing between food and medicine. Before we move on, hit the like button to boost this video in the algorithm and support our work. Number 8. New York City, New York. New York is supposed to be the land of plenty, the city that never sleeps, never starves, never slows down. But in 2025, that illusion is cracking. In parts of Manhattan, a dozen eggs costs up to $8. A single apple? Nearly $2. Bread? Don't even ask. And these aren't gourmet items. They're the cheapest versions available. For the wealthy, it's a mild inconvenience. For the working class and elderly, it's devastating. Every grocery trip becomes a brutal decision. Pay the utility bill or feed your family. Buy medicine or buy eggs. Food prices in the New York metro area have jumped over 33% since 2020, the highest in the nation, according to the Department of Labor. And as prices skyrocket, choices vanish. Thanks to gentrification, entire blocks that once had family-owned groceries now only have boutique health stores or overpriced delivery-only markets. In places like the Bronx and Queens, residents are watching corner stores turn into luxury juice bars, while their pantries sit empty. A woman on Social Security shared, "I used to buy dinner at my bodega. Now I can't even afford fruit without coupons." That's not fiction. That's the lived reality for thousands, maybe millions. And while Wall Street's bonuses hit record highs, the people who built this city, teachers, bus drivers, retirees, are being priced out of basic food. The shelves are stocked, but only for those who can pay the premium. If New York, America's wealth engine, can't feed its own, what hope do other cities have? Number 7. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham used to feel like a small town wrapped in a big city, where neighbors knew each other's names and the corner grocery was more than just a store. It was the heart of the community. But in 2025, that heart is fading fast. Piggly Wiggly, Save-A-Lot, and several regional chains have quietly vanished from Birmingham's aging suburbs. One by one, signs came down, parking lots emptied, and families were left wondering where to go for their next meal. According to local health data, more than 25% of Birmingham residents now live in areas considered fresh food deserts, where there's no full-service grocery store within a mile. For young families with cars, it's inconvenient. But for the elderly and disabled, it's catastrophic. One 78-year-old woman said, "The grocery store was the only place I talked to people. Now I sit at home and eat crackers for dinner." It's not just about nutrition, it's about isolation. For many, these stores were a social lifeline. And why did these stores leave? Profit margins, poor infrastructure, low-income zip codes deemed unviable. The market decided they weren't worth serving, so they vanished. But the people didn't. They still live there, still get hungry, still matter. In Birmingham, going to the store used to be part of life. Now, it's a logistical challenge, or a lonely bus ride to a warehouse across town. Are we measuring our cities by revenue or by humanity? Because in this city, community has quietly disappeared with the stores. Number 6. St. Louis, Missouri. In St. Louis, food is still available. Shelves are stocked, convenience stores are open. But there's one major problem. What's being sold isn't food, it's fuel for a slow collapse. In low-income neighborhoods across the city, fresh vegetables are nearly impossible to find. But you'll see rows of canned meats, sugary drinks, salty snacks, and processed dinners. These products last longer, but they shorten lives. According to Feeding America, over 60% of residents in St. Louis's poorest districts buy food that lasts less than 2 days and has minimal nutritional value. People are eating, but they're not thriving. They're surviving. Barely. Why is this happening? Because the food system prioritizes products with long shelf lives and high profit margins. Fresh produce? Too risky, too perishable. So instead, neighborhoods get stuck with food that's cheap, addictive, and devastating to public health. There was a time when St. Louis had thriving farmers markets, where you could speak with a grower, handpick your produce, and feed your family with dignity. Now, many of those have been replaced by gas stations selling microwavable burritos and mystery meat sandwiches. And so the question arises, is this really food justice? Or are we letting capitalism decide who deserves to be healthy? In St. Louis, it's clear. If you're poor, you get preservatives, not produce. Before we uncover the next city, hit that subscribe button, like, and hit the notification bell. It's your ticket to the stories no one else dares to tell. The more you support, the more truths we expose. Number 5. Fresno, California. It's one of the most baffling contradictions in America. Fresno, right in the heart of California's Central Valley, is called the food basket of the world. Yet the very people who harvest this abundance often can't afford to eat it. Drive just minutes outside Fresno and you'll see endless fields of grapes, almonds, tomatoes, and melons. But drive through the city's low-income neighborhoods, and you'll find families struggling to afford a head of lettuce. According to California food policy advocates, nearly 1 in 2 Fresno residents cannot consistently afford fresh produce. Many rely on canned vegetables, frozen meals, and cheap processed foods, even while living next to farms exporting billions of dollars worth of produce each year. Why? Because the modern distribution system prioritizes profits over proximity. Produce is sold in bulk to high-paying urban markets like San Francisco or New York. The rest? Shipped abroad. What's left in Fresno? often overpriced or simply unavailable. It wasn't always like this. Fresno once had vibrant farmers markets where locals bought fresh-picked goods directly from neighbors. But now, many of those markets are gone, replaced by dollar stores and convenience chains that sell packaged, not perishable. Imagine picking strawberries by sunrise, but eating canned beans by sunset. That's the painful irony of Fresno. In the land of plenty, scarcity still reigns. Number 4. Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, the booming capital of the South, Montreal is changing fast. Shiny new high-rises, tech startups, luxury townhomes. But behind the glass towers is a growing truth. Gentrification is driving out the grocery store. In just the last 4 years, over 50 local supermarkets have shut down in Atlanta, most in historically black or working-class neighborhoods, and they're not being replaced. The land is being snapped up by developers, but not for food access. Why? Because small grocers can't compete with surging rents, changing demographics, and the pressure to make room for trendier tenants. So the grocery stores close, and in their place, boutique gyms, wine bars, and upscale cafes. All great for the new arrivals, but devastating for longtime residents. And the result? Communities where you can buy a $10 cocktail, but not a carton of milk. Where residents, especially the elderly, have to take multiple buses just to get groceries. Where daily meals have become logistical hurdles. Atlanta's transformation is not just about real estate. It's about priorities. And right now, fresh food is losing to fast profits. The neighborhoods that built the city are being left behind, not just in housing, but in nutrition, health, and community access. Is this the cost of progress? Because in Atlanta, the cost of a meal is no longer just dollars. It's distance, dignity, and displacement. Number 3. Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado, known for its clean mountain air, craft breweries, and outdoorsy charm, is quietly becoming one of the most expensive cities in America to eat. And no, it's not because of a gourmet food trend, it's because of transportation. In the last 3 years, the cost to move food into Denver has jumped by 68%, according to regional logistics data. Why? Because nearly everything must be trucked in, over mountains, through snow, and across hundreds of miles. Rising fuel prices and extreme weather have turned each delivery into a high-stakes journey. That cost? Passed directly onto the consumer. A gallon of milk that might cost $3 in Kansas? In Denver, it's closer to $5. A bag of frozen vegetables? The price has doubled since 2021. And for fixed-income families, it's become a choice between healthy food or gas money. What's worse? Denver lacks a strong local distribution network. There aren't enough nearby suppliers or urban farms to cushion the blow. So when prices spike or roads shut down, store shelves go empty, or just unaffordable. And this isn't just a low-income issue. Middle-class families in Denver are cutting back on produce, skipping meat, and buying less, all because of geography. Imagine living in a modern city where the biggest barrier to eating well is the road your groceries have to travel. Denver isn't starving, but it's inching dangerously close to a place where even a simple meal feels out of reach. Number 2. Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, once the beating heart of American industry, is now one of the nation's most devastating urban food deserts. Not because food can't reach the city, but because the city's people and its stores have vanished. Since the 2013 bankruptcy, Detroit has faced an exodus of businesses and residents. But one of the most overlooked casualties? Grocery chains. According to the Detroit Food Policy Council, over 70% of residents now live more than a mile away from a full-service supermarket. For thousands of families, especially the elderly, disabled, and low-income, that means no reliable access to fresh food. Just corner stores selling chips, soda, and canned soup. Fresh vegetables, meat, affordable staples, practically non-existent. The reason? Retailers say Detroit's aging infrastructure, low-income base, and perceived crime risk make the city unprofitable. But the people haven't left. They're still there, still trying to live, eat, and survive, in neighborhoods with boarded-up storefronts and closed-down markets. What remains is a haunting sight. Empty shelves, locked doors, and dusty signs that used to read "Open 24 hours." But for Detroiters, this isn't nostalgia. It's daily life. And perhaps the most painful part. Detroit once fed the nation. It built the American car, fueled the economy, and shaped the middle class. Now, it struggles to feed its own children. Number 1. Miami, Florida. Miami, the city of sunshine, luxury condos, and beachfront glamour, might seem like the last place you'd expect to face a grocery crisis. But behind the palm trees and pastel skyline lies a growing emergency. And it's being driven by climate change. In 2025, hurricanes like Ian and Idalia didn't just flood streets, they wiped out food supply chains, warehouses underwater, delivery routes blocked, refrigeration units fried, supermarkets went dark for days, and residents were left scrambling, not for luxuries, but for bread, milk, and water. Every major storm now causes food prices to spike 15 to 20%, especially for perishables like dairy, meat, and produce. In some areas, it's not just about rising prices, it's about total inaccessibility. And the ones hit hardest? Seniors, single parents, low-income families who can't just stock up or drive north when the shelves go empty. What's more alarming, this isn't rare. Miami now sees multiple flooding events each year, and the food system is still acting like it's business as usual. No climate-proof warehouses, no localized reserves, no serious Plan B. In a city where the sea is rising and storms are intensifying, food security shouldn't be a luxury. But in Miami, a hurricane away is all it takes for dinner to become uncertain. So we ask, if nature keeps warning us, why isn't the food system listening? From the south side of Chicago to the flooded streets of Miami, the grocery crisis isn't coming. It's already here. And it's not just about food. It's about access, dignity, and survival. America once prided itself on abundance. But in 2025, millions of people are asking, where can I shop? What can I afford? How far do I have to go just to eat? The scariest part? These aren't isolated stories. They're symptoms of a broken system, where profits outweigh people, where convenience replaces community, and where food, the most basic human need, is becoming a privilege. So now we turn it over to you. Have you seen this in your city? Are your grocery trips getting harder, longer, more expensive? Do you know someone who's struggling just to put decent food on the table? Share your story in the comments. Like this video if you believe more people need to hear the truth. And subscribe to our channel, because the more we shine a light, the harder it becomes for these issues to be ignored. Thank you for watching.